Hello and welcome to this live session on AWS, Introduction to AWS for Beginners, and we'll cover the basic topics. My name is Devashish Roy. I'm the Senior Network Analyst and the Club Trainer at the Indian Cyber Security Solutions, and I welcome you all to this special webinar. Today we are going to discuss about the basics of AWS and why is it so important in the cloud computing. So let's begin. So, as you know, that AWS is actually the leader in the cloud computing. There are many cloud providers apart from AWS as Azure and Google Cloud, but they are not that big because AWS is scalable and they're reliable. And also, there are many features that is offered in AWS. It is there in other clouds also. I would not say that these features are not there in other clouds, but yes, the AWS is more reliable and it is more diverse platforms that they offer. So definitely everybody should learn this AWS as the basic. Now it has a very vast area of services, including the compute, storage, database, machine learning, analytics, and IoT. These are the different cost-effective solutions that AWS provide to its customers. And that is also different from other customers. So it is more vast and it is more structured. As we will see the AWS console, we will definitely understand that it is robust and it is smarter than other cloud providers. It has elasticity and scalability. Yes, every application nowadays depends on the AWS cloud. You just see any app in the internet or any Google Play Store, anywhere, those apps are definitely there on the AWS platform. With features like auto scaling and elastic load balancing, AWS helps the applications to seamlessly handle varying traffic. Like the auto balancing, the load balancing means that, say, the load is coming from outside and you are balancing the loads to individual servers so that one server doesn't get crashed. Also, the auto scaling means that your apps say there is a load on one of the servers or one of the apps. Then what happens that AWS automatically scales the apps horizontally and vertically. Horizontally means that they upgrade the hardwares automatically, say the virtual CPU, the RAM, these things. And then the vertically and horizontally means that they are actually they're increasing the number. That is the horizontal scaling. So these things are definitely there in other cloud providers also, but in AWS, it is more robust and it is more clear than other cloud providers. Again, it is reliability and availability that makes AWS the leader in the cloud computing. So if you say the role of AWS or the importance as a basic of the cloud computing, it is because of its redundancy that we can see that there are many regions and every region is divided into different AZ or availability zones. There are 3 to 4, even more AZs in every region for fault tolerance and global infrastructure. So if you're keeping your data in one of the regions, definitely that data is kept not only in one region or in one zone, but it is replicated throughout the region, throughout the zones. It is because of AWS's multiple data centers across the world, across the globe, that provides high availability and fault tolerance. And it is also unique that makes it a very robust cloud provider. Then AWS prioritizes security also and compliances with a wide range of security features and certifications like the AWS IAM rules, there is the identity and access management, and Amazon Guard duty. AWS ensures robust security measures. So there are definitely some IAM roles and policies that we can implement so that we can restrict other users. Say, for example, we can restrict some users not to run the EC2 instance. We'll not give them the permission to run the AWS EC2 instances or say to set the S3 buckets or Lambda service. So we can put some restrictions with these security policies. Also, the cost optimization. AWS offers cost optimization through pay-as-you-go pricing. So they have a diversified pricing model as well, and reserved instances and spot instances. So there are certain instances that is reserved for a particular tenant, say for example 1 to 3 years, and there are some instances like the spot instance. So spot instance means that somebody has stopped or terminated the instance, and that instance is free. But if I'm the cloud provider, the AWS provider, then I will sell that instance as a spot instance for a low cost. So you will get that instance for a very low cost. That is a spot instance. And you can definitely, the business can optimize cost by leveraging AWS pricing models and resource allocation strategies. Innovation and agility, that is also a feature. It fosters an innovation and agility by providing a wide range of tools and resources for development, testing, and deployment. So there are many features that is for the enterprises. If it's a small enterprise, that is also dependent on AWS. Say, for example, some apps, some on-demand delivery platforms. Also, the big enterprises, the big MNCs, that is also dependent on the AWS. Then the global reach, definitely, it has a global infrastructure spanning across multiple regions and availability zones that I was talking about. AWS enables businesses to reach a diverse global audience with a low latency and high performance with the content delivery networking, or CDN that we say. It provides you low latency. For example, you have set up a web server, and that web server is cached in the regional cache or the edge locations. That is to reduce the latency. So the future of cloud computing is with AWS closely related. And so definitely we can conclude that AWS has become indispensable partner for businesses seeking to harness the power of the cloud. So to discuss the features, now we'll go to some EC2 console, the AWS console rather, and I'll show you the features. So this is a console, and we will launch certain services like EC2 here. So click on the EC2. That is the virtual machine that we are going to launch. And also we can see the regions here. Let me show you. This is a region, North Virginia. And it is divided into AZs as well. It is just loading. Yes. Now see, these are regions, and Asia Pacific, Mumbai, Seoul, Singapore, and these are the AZs. AP South 1, AP North is 3. These are the AZs. Okay. And now we'll install an instance. We'll launch an instance in the EC2. So there is an elastic compute cloud. That is the feature of the AWS. That is the virtual machines that they offer. And virtual machines store your data virtually. So you migrate your data to the virtual machine. So that is to leverage the cost in your on-premise environment. So in your on-premise server, you do not keep the data, say the files folders or any other virtual machines, you migrate to the AWS infrastructure. So this is your EC2, and just click on the instances. So we do not have any instance here. So you just click on launch instances. So here your options are coming. The AWS has various OS images that you can use for your instance. So here, let's say for now, I'm choosing Windows, but they have Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Red Hat Linux, SUSE Linux, different type of OS. So for now, I'm going for the Windows and the Windows Server 2022 base. Now they have also the server core that is the CLI based Windows that I'm not offering for now. So you can see that if you click here, then you will see the server core base, and the base is means the GUI based, the normal Windows that we see, and core base is only the server core, that is only the CLI based installation. But I'm not going for that for now. I'm going for 2022 base, the 2022 or 19 server. And you can see all the features like the root device, that is EBS, that is Elastic Block Store, that is directly attached to the server, and that is free tier eligible. So for now, we are going to use only the instances, only the OS that is free tier eligible, because not all are free tier eligible. Now you can see that instance type T2.micro, that is also free tier eligible, and not all the instances you can use as a free tier. So if you just see the instances like this one, C6i, these instances, these are not free tier based. So you can only use the free instances. And also you can see the on-demand pricing also in the US dollar per hour. Now key pair login. So to connect to the instance, you need to create a key pair, means a private key. So you have a concept of private and public key to encrypt data, and private key to decrypt your data. So the same concept is here. So you select the key pair. I have one key pair. If you do not have, then you just click on create new key pair. But I have a key pair here that is already downloaded in my PC, so I'll use this key pair only. And now the virtual network settings. Here you have the virtual network that is already available there. So I'm not selecting or creating rather any other virtual network. I'm just using their own VNet, own VPC, and auto assign public IP should be enabled. Otherwise, you cannot connect to the instance because you connect to the instance by the public IP. Now comes the firewall rules. There is a security groups, and it is for the RDP traffic. Means you are using Windows instance, so you will use the protocol RDP, remote desktop protocol. And if you are using any Linux instance, then you will use the SSH. Then comes the storage, and by default it is 130 GB GP2 root volume. You can also enable GP3 as well, and you can increase the storage capacity also, say 100 GB, say 100 GB. It can take. So these are the features that you are using. You can add other volumes as well. And these are the basic features, and we can launch instance now. So click on launch instance. So it has launched the instance. It will do some security check here. It will do some status check as well. Then you can connect. The state is running now. It's initializing the status check, and when it becomes 2 by 2, then we can connect. Yes, now we can see the 2 by 2 checks has passed. And now just select the instance and connect that. And choose the RDP client. You have to connect using RDP client and download the remote desktop file. Now you need to download the remote desktop file itself now, because you cannot download it later. Just save that. And now this is a public DNS, the FQDN. You have to get the password from that key file, that private key. Click on get password. You need this col123 to decrypt the password. So click on upload private key file. It should be in the downloads, I guess. Just find that. This one. And this is your password. Just copy that. Now open the file. Click on connect and paste the password here. Click on OK. Click on yes. So you have successfully launched the EC2 instance here. You can see the instance is coming. Now it's coming the screen, and you can see that it's a 2022 server that we have already launched. So this way you can do the very basic thing, that is to launch the first your EC2 instance, and your billing will continue as long the instance is running, or even if you stop the instance or pause the instance, then also your billing will continue. So you have to make sure that you just terminate the instance. So it's asking that whether the network will be enabled for other PCs. Click on yes. So these are the particulars that we'll get: private IP, public IP, instance size, availability zone, architecture. It is using AMD64, memory, everything you'll get. So just go to the instance again. And you can see that the instance is running, and you can see all the features of the instance. And if you're not using it any longer, then you need to terminate that. Just click there and then go to the instance tab and then terminate instance. Then terminate. Yeah. So these are our practical about the, and it is disconnected already, about the EC2 instance, the features, and also we will have some theory parts about the EC2 instance. So I've already told you that EC2 instance is a virtual machine, and it is used to store your external data to the cloud. Now, we will discuss some important points about EC2 instance, and it is crucial for optimizing your cloud infrastructure and ensuring high availability and scalability. Scalability means that yes, my data will be stored in the cloud, so it will be stored in multiple instances and it will be always available. So definitely it will ensure the high availability in the cloud. Deploying EC2 instance efficiently is essential for a successful cloud deployment. And we have already launched and managed the instances. And I have also told you that it is vital for achieving the optimum performance and cost effectiveness. So that is why we have seen the EC2 instance launching first. And so now we can definitely understand it better that yes, this EC2 instance actually gives you a lot of availability and lot of options for scalability as well. And now security and compliance, and ensuring the security and compliance of your instance is paramount. You can also implement some security features. We have already seen that the network security, the firewall rules I've discussed. Also, you can encrypt your instance, although we haven't seen it for now, but you can implement the KMS, key management service, to encrypt your EC2 instance. Also, we have seen the private key, that is the key file that you need to store to actually decrypt your password. So these all are the security features that you can say that is for the EC2 instance, definitely. And maximizing the performance of EC2 instance is crucial for meeting any demands of modern applications. So definitely it is crucial that you understand the instance performance, different instance options, including instance types, storage options, purchasing options, and network tuning. Like I discussed about the spot instance, there are dedicated instances that is run on the single tenant hardware. Say one hard disk is entirely dedicated to an instance, or a dedicated server. Like the server is totally dedicated to your instance. It's very costly, but these are the purchasing options that you can opt for achieving high throughput and low latency. Again, cost management. I have already shown you the cost of running the instances. They were showing the cost for each instance in the US dollar price. Effectively managing the cost of your instance is a key consideration for any cloud deployment, that including reserve instance, spot instance, and dedicated servers, dedicated instances. These are the few purchasing options. And by implementing these methods, one can achieve significant cost saving. And achieving elasticity and scalability is essential for meeting the fluctuating demands. And one should explore the auto scaling again, the instance elasticity, everything. And it is crucial for building a resilient and flexible infrastructure that can adapt to changing workloads. So these are the features of this instance, and you can also use an instance for data storage or hosting the websites or any other resource management. So we can conclude that we have completed the AWS instances successfully, and these S2 instances are well equipped to optimize the cloud infrastructure, enhance security, and achieve cost-effective scalability. So definitely, S2 instance gives you immense power to actually securely store your data in the cloud provider. So this is the very basic things of the AWS cloud. That what is the cloud, and what are the services that is offered by cloud, and this storage, these instances. These are the services that we call as infrastructure as a service. So cloud provider offers you many services like IaaS that we have seen today. Again, they offer the software as a service or SaaS, and platform as a service, where the cloud provider provides you some development tools, development platform, also to take care of your OS, your runtime, your middleware, everything in case of PaaS. But in case of IaaS, only the cloud provider provides you with the necessary hardware platforms or the OS, these things. So EC2 is totally based on this infrastructure as a service. So these were the two features that we explored today about the very basic AWS, where you should start, and that is as a beginner's guide to the AWS. And you have already seen that AWS has an immense potential as a cloud provider, and it is more important than any cloud provider, and it has a largest market share as a cloud provider, even bigger than the Azure. So in today's world, when everything is migrating towards cloud, even in the networking, you just say the PCs, not only the PCs, the servers, the routers, switches, LAN controllers, wireless LAN controllers, web devices, wireless access point, everything is in the cloud. Even if you talk about the Cisco DNS center, those DNS center controller is also available in the cloud. So everything is moving towards cloud, and to store these things, you need many options, and one of them is EC2. We'll talk about other options also later, like the S3 bucket, where you can host the website, also the EBS storage and other things. So that was the first part of our this AWS, this basic, and I hope that you have got a solid understanding about the AWS services and its features. And as an introduction to AWS as a beginner level, what are the basic things that a cloud provider like AWS offers you, and what are the features that offers you? And also, I've shown you a demo on the S3 instance. That is a very basic for storing a data. First, you have to store the data in the cloud. So it is very important for you. So that is about the AWS for beginners that we have for today. And I hope that you have understood it thoroughly and you have got immense knowledge on that. We'll be covering other features also in coming days. And thanks for joining this webinar for AWS as a beginner level. And later we'll also dive deep into many advanced levels of the AWS and the other features as well. So this is about the introduction to the AWS for beginners, this webinar. So again, thanks for joining this, and I'll see you next time. And bye for now.